Joining me now is someone on the front lines of the effort to push back against Donald Trump and Elon Musk. Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett is a Democrat of Texas. She's a member of the House Oversight Committee on DOGE. Congresswoman, welcome. Thank you for being with us.
Yeah.
This is a tricky one. Now, you
see her face? She looks so stressed out. It must be hard to be on the wrong side.
have the benefit of you were not a member of Congress in the first Trump administration. You were in government, but this is what's your take on what resistance looks like for you, for me, for society, for those lawyers at the DOJ? What are you supposed to do?
Yeah. So, first of all, hats off to each and every person who literally said that I have some ethics about myself and therefore I'm just going to resign. That's as it relates to the DOJ as well as every other agency. The scary part about this, though, is that only his lackeys will be left running our governmental agencies, whatever is left of those governmental agencies. When I think about resistance, though, I've had a lot of conversations. And one of the things that keeps coming up is how the former governor of this state was consistently doing daily briefings in the midst of COVID because we couldn't trust anything that Donald Trump was saying about the pandemic.
Right.
So everyone tuned in to really what almost was like the shadow president, the guy that was going to give us facts and not tell us to inject ourselves with bleach.
Right.
I think that we need to do something similar to that because all they're going to do,
I love how people look, just continuously bring that up. When in reality, if you couldn't tell that that was a sarcastic comment made in jest, maybe ill-timed, that's subjective. But if you couldn't tell that, then I don't know what to tell you, man. That man didn't actually mean for people to really ingest themselves with bleach, man. Quit being stupid.
And his new press secretary is spew lies upon lies upon lies. We need to daily brief the American people. That's number one. Number two, a lot of people are talking about, you know what? We just are looking forward to the midterms. We only need 3 more seats. I'm sure everybody's tired of getting emails, text messages, phone calls, trying to raise money. But the reality is that we have an opportunity right now. I know that a lot of people look at these seats that are available, which there's going to be a total of 3, and they say these are deep red seats. But here's the thing. We saw that in the state of Iowa, they swung a seat 27 points so that a Democrat could win. I say we have nothing to lose. We need to go out. We need to talk to those people that finally understand that the only mission that Donald Trump has is making sure that he can line his pockets, line Elon's pockets, and any other billionaire all at our expense. It's not just going to be the people you dislike that are going to miss out on their Medicare, Medicaid, or their Social Security. Or down in the state of Florida, where 2 of these seats are, they are talking about getting rid of FEMA. It is time to wake up, and it doesn't mean that you're a Democrat if you vote Democratically.
So this is where I want to get to. Who's the audience to swing some of these states? Is it progressives?
Here we go again. This is just more of an example of just clear fear mongering. That's all it is. It's just clear and abundant fear mongering. Am I the only one that's tired of it? Let me know in the comment section. Are you tired of the fear mongering? Because that's all they're doing. Like, when you look at what she's saying, she's bringing up all these different instances of all these different occasions and all that, but she's not really saying anything. Like, okay, we get it. You don't like them, but every rich person is trying to maintain and keep their money. You know what I mean? So why, first of all, why are we saying that? Democrats got rich billionaires too. So why are we pretending like y'all don't do that? Number one. But number two, what are they actually doing that is hurting the country? I mean, they might be things that might, it might make things a little rough, but it's all for the greater good by their logic. So who are you to sit there and say, oh, they're trying to destroy the country when we haven't even seen the results yet? We saw the results of what Biden did. Biden messed the country up in really 2 years. In 2 years, I think it was less than in almost 2 years, we were already in a war. 6 months later, another one. I mean, I'm just saying, am I crazy?
Who understand that their priorities are being crushed, or is it people who voted Republican, to whom you say, you didn't vote for this, did you?
Exactly.
You didn't vote for Elon Musk and a guy named Big Balls to have your documentation.
Yeah.
How does that message get out there in a way that that entire audience hears it?
I think that
I hate when they say that. Oh, we didn't vote for Elon. We didn't vote for Elon Musk. We didn't vote. Shut up. You didn't. First of all, you voted for Kamala Harris. Let's just be real. You voted for Kamala Harris. Second of all, it's not about voting for Elon Musk. It's about the fact that Elon Musk is an elected official of the person that we voted for. So therefore, guess what? He's I don't know what more needs to be said. What don't you understand about that?
I think that you're right. Definitely the entire audience. I just don't know how many progressives exist in Matt Gaetz' former district, right? But I do think that there are farmers in that district, farmers that are concerned because they rely upon monies as it relates to USAID and other monies that are now being dismantled. And it means that you may lose your family farm. It may be bought up by a corporate organization. And so I think just having very real conversations, we've seen people who have talked about, well, we don't want you firing the people at the VA, or maybe it's somebody that has to fly all the time and they're concerned because we have a record number of planes literally falling out of the sky because he decided he was going to appoint some guy from Fox to be over transportation. But at the end of the
Wait. So you're blaming Donald Trump for these plane crashes. What?
day, there were those that never believed that we could end up with 2 senators in the state of Georgia, and we did. There were those that never believed we could have a Democrat representing Alabama, and in that special election, we did. So I think if there's any point in time that the people should rise up and figure out where should I focus my attention, it's on these special elections, and it's having real conversations on the doors with real people talking about what's really happening and not the lies that they're putting out there.
I want to go back to this idea. There are a lot of people frustrated about where a lot of Democrats are in this mix.
Yeah.
You're out there a lot. We've talked several times. You've got a take on everything that happens. This concept about a daily briefing. It's we've talked about whether we should act more like a parliamentary system here, where the opposition's got a job to do every day, and you see them as often as you see a prime minister. What does that look like? Have you had this conversation with a lot of your colleagues about how this looks?
I've been trying to work through it because I think when we compare it to what was happening in COVID, it was just one subject.
Right.
And for us as Democrats, we like to have experts. We don't just want to talk in mouth, right? And so it's a matter of how do we know what's coming to make sure that we've got the right expert on hand. But I think that it would be great if at least maybe every Friday we have a different attorney general or the same one that talks about the status of the cases, right? I think that there's things that we can do. We can just maybe decide on what days we're going to have transportation, and maybe we can pull on Secretary Buttigieg to come through and say, this is the day that I will pick up and I will talk about what's happening at FAA. I think we also have to start having some field hearings. We've got to go into their territory. We've got to explain to people in rural America, the reason that you don't have hospitals is because of their policies. The reasons you're not going to have schools is because of their policies. The reason that you had access to more jobs, more health care, as well as the next level of farming was because Democrats were the ones that wanted to make sure that you could have broadband access. We've got to start having the conversations instead of just ceding the territory, because the reality is that right now they're trying to cut SNAP benefits. You know who uses more SNAP benefits than anybody else? It's rural America. It's not urban America. We have a story for every single person who's not a billionaire in this country, and it's time for us to tell it.
So you had an interesting story, which I wasn't going to bring up because my parents watch this show, but you were involved in a hearing with Elon Musk.
I love how the Democrats love to pretend like they don't only like they I love how they just try to pretend like they don't push policies that do the same thing, that further the agendas of the rich and the wealthy. When Joe Biden and them were having that, were announcing that that tax policy where they would check your payments when you go through systems, like, you know what I mean, you like they lowered the amount that you have to report when you go when you use apps like Cash App and PayPal and stuff like that. And it was just, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. Who does that hurt? That hurts the average everyday person. That's not going to hurt the rich billionaires because chances are rich billionaires aren't using Cash App for their transactions. So, you know what I mean? So it's like that. That's what I mean. I mean, I don't know how to. I don't know. This is just. I don't know, man.
About
this stuff drives me
condoms.
crazy.
Right? Do you remember this whole?
It wasn't with Elon. Elon, if you're watching, come through, boo, because you haven't shown up to the DOGE subcommittee yet.
Right, and you called him out at that subcommittee.
Yes.
But this became weird because Buddy Carter, your colleague from Georgia, started talking about how we were.
Why would Elon Musk take the time to come to the DOGE hearing when he's out here doing things? It's like actually uncovering real corruption. I just want you to make this. I just want you to really get this and understand what's going on here. This woman wants Elon Musk to stop uncovering the corruption that he's doing. And he's literally actively uncovering corruption. If you look on Twitter right now, they just released that million, between hundreds of thousands to almost 1 million people, millions of people that were actually not even alive that are getting these Social Security checks. And who's getting the money? Well, their families are probably going and taking the money and spending it on themselves, right? Let's just be honest. So you want him to take time away from uncovering honest corruption to sit in a committee meeting and sit in a committee hearing and listen to you guys whine and complain about how you think he has too much power. What sense does that make?
We're giving condoms to the Taliban, and then Donald Trump himself. Then it became about Gaza, but that would have to have been about 7,000 condoms per person. And then he said it was just Hamas, which none of it made sense. But it caused a lot of people to have to run around and follow the story and find out that we give condoms as part of USAID to prevent the spread of HIV to a place in Mozambique called Gaza province.
Correct.
So that means that he wasn't lying. It just means that he delivered it poorly. This is what I'm talking about. This is what the media does. They always like to say and sit here and pretend like, Donald Trump lied about this. Oh, we're not doing this. Oh, we're not doing it. And then they come out and say what they're really doing. And it turns out that it's the same thing.
Gaza, but that would have to have been about 7,000 condoms per person. And then he said it was just Hamas, which none of it made sense. But it caused a lot of people to have to run around and follow the story and find out that we give condoms as part of USAID to prevent the spread of HIV to a place in Mozambique called Gaza province.
Correct.
This is the.
So again, this is like I said. What they do is they take something and they take his poor delivery and then they try to make it seem like what he's saying is just completely false. When in reality, it's just that he delivered it poorly. He delivered it poorly. So I mean, at the end of the day, who's really being more deceitful? You by trying to pretend like what he said is completely false, or him by misspeaking? That's the thing. That's the thing.
The nonsense we have to deal with.
It's not even just nonsense. It's just that they're idiots. I mean, these are the same guys, remember, as it relates to our nuclear stockpile, right? They're like, oh, wait a minute. We needed those guys.
Yeah.
Oh, can we get them back? Oh, we don't know how to. Like, I don't know how anyone in this country can look at this administration and feel some semblance of any type of confidence, right?
Because they tried the Democratic Joe Biden administration and it just so happened to be so bad that more people were willing to go back to how it was with Trump. That's what the thing is. And see, when you look at the approval ratings, Trump is doing better than he was the first term. You know what I mean? People have confidence in Trump to be the president. That's the truth. Like, you guys can try to fearmonger, spin, gaslight, whatever you want to do, but at the end of the day, this is just what it is.
And this is all at the same time. Like, Elon doesn't want us talking about the fact that he has received almost $1 billion worth of new contract money from the U.S. government in just 2 weeks.
Yep.
$400 million for Tesla and over $300 million for SpaceX.
I'm sorry, guys. I got to fact check this lying heifer real quick because she said that Elon Musk basically got a $400 million contract. Well, First of all, Elon Musk did not get the contract, okay? So state halts plans to buy $400 million worth of armored Tesla vehicles, right? This initiative was actually something that was introduced by Joe Biden, as you can see here. Joe Biden was the one that put out the request to a bunch of different vehicle companies, and Elon Musk, Tesla, was the only company that responded. And there hasn't actually been any official transaction of money. So that just goes to show you that these people don't know what they're talking about. They just love talking out the side of their neck, relying on fear mongering to try to make you just believe that, oh, well, yeah, they're trying to do this, they're trying to do this, when in reality, they do the same thing, man. Just liars.
This is nothing more than a money grab. He's not out there trying to save money for the American people. That's not what he's doing. He's lining his pockets. And at the same time, he's out.
But will it save money for the American people? That's the question. Will it save money for the American people? Because if it'll still save money for the American people, then guess what? Everybody wins. I don't understand why people have a problem with an everybody wins scenario. Why does it only have to be you win and we pretend to suffer? You guys do it. You just make it sound like, oh, you're with us, and no, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. You people are rich just as much. You people are like millionaires. Like, come on. Come on. I know what y'all salaries say and all that kind of stuff, but we know that y'all don't just get money based off of the salary. So come on.
Outraging people who don't know exactly how we spend our money and how it benefits us to make sure that things like HIV and AIDS doesn't become the worldwide pandemic that it used to be. Yeah. Exactly. Same thing with everything else that we're dealing with, because now we know Ebola was found where? Here. In New York. Yep. I mean, we need people that are experts, not idiots that play on Fox News or play on the internet.
Stupid. So now the American taxpayers got to be responsible for other people's bad decisions. You know what I mean? That's just insane to me. That's insane. The logic, it just doesn't make sense to me, because how you gonna hope? Why is it my responsibility? Why should I be held responsibility if somebody wants to have sex with you know what I'm saying, with somebody in an unclean way? Like, come on. Like, that's just stupid. It's just stupid, man. These people are hilarious.